raise a word of prayer, and then we'll begin our conversation right away. God, I thank you for today. Very beautiful day. It has been a while doing this stream and having this conversation with our people, but we just invite you here today. Give us wisdom and courage and everything as we're having this conversation. I pray that our people, will get something out of this conversation, because it's not about entertainment, but it's about life changing, and that's what we do. So I pray all these things in your precious name, Jesus Christ. Amen. 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 All right, guys. So do me a favor, copy this link and share with somebody. Very important. Copy the link and share with somebody to welcome them in this session, to have this session together. All right. We need to have this session, and we need as many people to see this. Share this link with your friends on WhatsApp, on Facebook. Right now, as I'm saying, share and invite them to come here. Also, you can like this stream. When you like, it will help us in, for more people to see this stream. So if you're watching here right now, please like this stream. Just place a like button. If you don't like this stream, then I thank YouTube, because they removed the dislike button. So you don't have a choice. Just like. That's the only button you got there. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting time, let me invite my sister here right now. Hey, hello. You're muted.
Hello, hello. How are you? I didn't know I was muted. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. It's really good to have you here today. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Hmm.
Mika, I think we're gonna talk about it more, but I really been following you for some time now, and I really love everything that you're doing. I love your heart for Africa, for everyone in Africa, and you're just such an open-minded person.
Hmm.
I just wanted to put that out there before we started. I love everything you've been doing. And
Hmm.
I've already told you that I also love what you're doing in farming.
Yeah.
Agriculture is just one of the most important things and sectors in
Hmm.
Africa. And I
Hmm.
love that you decided to get into that sector, and you're doing amazing. So I just wanted to put that out there, and thank you for having me today.
I really appreciate those are a lot of flowers. Um, thank you so much. I'm really excited for this conversation today, because before this we had a little meeting, and the conversation was going so well that we had to restrict ourselves from asking and talking further, just to keep for the show. So I really appreciate for what you're doing as well.
Thank
I love your work. I told you that yesterday private, and I'll tell you here today public that I love your work.
thank you.
I've seen on the social media, and I think as well as, I mean, we'll be able to share with the people here your website for them to see the work you're doing. It's incredible. It's amazing. I love art, and I love you know creativity, and I think you are the definition of that. So uh,
Oh,
you
thank
know
you. I
it's
really
it's so
appreciate
proud to
that.
have Africans like you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot.
All right. So for the startup, uh, you know, who are you? And for especially for those who do not know you, because I know a lot of people they know you, but there might be people who they did not know you today. So if you don't mind introducing yourself and a little bit of your background, where you come from and all this stuff, I think will be good for our people to know.
Okay. So, yeah, my name is Marta Salomon. As you mentioned already, I grew up in Ethiopia in a small town called Babile in eastern part of Ethiopia.
Mm,
Such a diverse place, a beautiful place, and I
mm,
think made me who I am. Just like most African towns, basically, right?
yeah.
So I grew up and I lived most of my life there. And about 5 years ago, I moved to the US.
Mm,
And just to tell you the story, also just to get into the business because it's very related to my journey, life
yeah.
journey, basically. So about 1 year before I moved to the US, I moved to Addis, which is Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia, to live
Mm,
with my aunt. who used to be an artist in herself. She used to make beautiful leather bags. Most of my life, basically, I know her. About like that. I knew that she makes leather bags. So
mm,
when I went to her place to live with her, I noticed that she wasn't making those bags anymore. In her small bedroom, I saw her sewing machine sitting in the corner of her bedroom, was covered with, clothings and things like that. I can just tell that she was not using them.
yeah.
So I just immediately asked, what happened? Are you not making the bags anymore? She told me that she stopped. I
Mm,
was not expecting that because just her stuff was so beautiful, So when I was in my town, growing up in high school, middle school, she used to send me this to my me and my sisters. She used to
yeah.
send us like school bags, and they
Mm,
looked so beautiful. It's just like it makes you stand out and makes you feel so good. And even though we don't, keep them like we don't protect them, we're like throwing them everywhere. We
yeah.
use them poorly, but still they serve us like for years. They're strong.
Mm,
They're like high
mm,
quality. So
yeah.
I knew her work. So when she told me she was not making those bags anymore, I was like, why? Like, why would you stop? And she's like,
Yeah.
no, I couldn't keep up. I couldn't stay in the market because I'm not getting good market opportunities as much as I need to. And even
Yeah.
though when I can sell them, I'm not selling them, in a good price. I'm
Mm,
having to sell them in a low price, which does not cover my cost and the time that she spends on making those products. And she's a mother of four. She's just making time to make these bags.
yeah.
And after making it, she can't sell it. And even when she does, it is very for such a low price.
Mm,
So I was like, oh no, there's no way you cannot, sell these products for just such a great, price because they're high
mm,
quality, they're beautiful, it's leather bag. I was
mm,
like, maybe just, didn't have time to market them enough or like to try and sell them, to the right
mm,
market. So I was like, you know what? Just go back to making them. I'm going to sell it for you. I'm going to spend the time, marketing it. And
wow.
mind you, I actually never sold a single thing in my life before
Mm,
that. But it's just, I
mm,
was so convinced that
wow.
her product was
Mm,
so beautiful. I was like, I'm sure I can sell them somewhere. So
mm,
she was like, okay, let's get back in business. And she just, pulled the sewing machine and started, sewing in her bedroom. I remember the bedroom was so small. I
mm,
remember it's like they couldn't like close the door or like open the door because the sewing machine was like right there.
mm,
But
mm,
anyway, she was just sitting there, sewing them. So just that's how I got into it. So I started
yeah.
just taking samples and just walking around the city and at this and asking people if they want to buy and things
Yeah.
like that. And I quickly just learned how hard it was. It
Yeah.
was not as easy as I thought it would be. Even if the quality is high, beautiful, the design beautiful, the quality is high, but it's just
Mm,
the market opportunity was not there and it was not enough.
mm,
So I was still working hard, and she was working hard as well. So after 1 year, I got the opportunity to come to the US, and I was like, even better. I'm sure I'm
mm,
gonna have, more
yeah.
opportunities to market it. I'm gonna have the right market there, so I will try and, help you more.
Mm,
So, we promised each other. I'm like, I'm gonna continue to try and sell it, and please just continue to make them. So I came
yeah.
here and it wasn't as easy as well. Like I came here, I didn't know anything about the country. It is funny
Oh,
because
before that, there's a lot of information. So I wanna, I wanna rewind a little bit.
okay,
Especially, first of all, that's really, wonderful, story of how you got, you began to do this,
yes,
after seeing, like, growing up, and, a lot of us, like a lot of Africans, a lot of us who, I mean, we're blessed enough to have families. We are who we are today. It's because of what, they were doing, or what they're doing, right?
exactly,
So yeah, that's incredible, just carrying out that legacy, and having your own identity, and
Mhm.
that's the uniqueness of your product, that it's it's local based, and now it's international. So that's really wonderful. But
Mhm.
I want to know, going backward a little bit, I want to know, um what was the motivation before you started, like your family started it, and what was the motivation, starting that business?
So again, I actually never thought I would get into business. I actually never had the idea. Like even when I get into it, as I told you, was just purely I wanted to support my aunt because
Okay.
I was very much convinced that her product is beautiful. She's
Mm,
talented and she's
yeah.
deserved more. You know, she deserved the highlight. She deserves to get more
Mm,
opportunities, more income from her craft. So that
yeah.
was basically everything. And I've actually never made any money like for a long, long time doing that business. It's just I
Mm,
purely wanted to help her. So
yeah.
I actually, just to give you like an idea how I decided to change it into business, it is
Mm,
because I started telling people um, the story about my aunt, and I started getting a lot of more messages about like from other artisans. Telling me that they are also facing similar issues, and from Ethiopia and from other places as well. So I was like, okay, this is not an issue of only one artisan or like only my aunts. It is
yeah.
something that a lot of artisans face in Ethiopia, also in Africa, across Africa, basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, I need to come up with a system that will just tackle this challenge.
Yeah.
So I sat down, and when I think about it, okay, I need to start a business that creates market opportunities,
Yeah.
that gives platform for you
Yeah.
know artisans like my aunt can shine. They can
Yeah.
showcase their products to the world, and they can sell globally because they don't
Yeah.
have to be limited just locally. They don't have to
Yeah.
be limited with the only the resources they have. They should
Exactly.
be able to showcase their products. So that's how I got into it. That was the motivation.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm asking these questions because I assume that people who are watching here, maybe they have their small business. You know what I'm saying? Like they they have, some of them, they just have an idea that I want to do something, but they don't know how to get started. Some of them, they already started, they don't know how to expand to something big. Some of them, they already like in the middle phase of their business and they want to break out to go international. I assume that we have all those kind of viewers watching here, and I want us to reach out to all of them. So the second concern, I mean, the second curiosity that I have, is that what was the, especially when you were in Ethiopia, you've spoken about the marketing and spoken about all the stuff, like little, some challenges that you're facing. But I want to ask, what was the biggest challenge for you when you were doing there? Uh, People accepting that business, because it stopped for a while, right? And you started. How did people respond to it? How how did they support? Because if you don't have support, then you don't have business. Business is people, right?
Yeah.
And um how did you overcome at that moment, in that, like in that beginning level? What was the challenges you're facing, and how did you get through that?
That's a very good question. So the first biggest challenge was the fact that my aunt's business at the time was very small. It
Yeah.
was, as I told you, was just she was making it out of her bedroom. It wasn't something like, we didn't have
Yeah.
a shop where people can come and buy. We
Yeah.
didn't have like a brand that was building. Like we didn't have nothing. She just had like the swing machine and just leather. So it's just she was just making that. So the fact that we didn't really have any and social media wasn't as really like, it
Yeah.
was Facebook back then, but it wasn't really prominent. We didn't start like actually using social media for business. So we didn't have any medium to actually reach people except like going out and talking to them in person. So I think
Mm.
that would be the main challenge. And I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest challenge for most artisans and small businesses in Africa right now as well. Maybe you have social media, you can do
Yeah.
that. to tackle
mm,
that challenge now, which is great.
mm,
But they don't have capital, they don't have resources, they don't have places to showcase, which is why we created SKADMAS.com as well. That's like a storefront, an online storefront where they can
yeah,
showcase their products to the
exactly.
world. That
Mm,
that's like where the idea came from as well, because of that challenge we were facing. We just didn't
yeah,
have places to show. So
yeah,
how did we tackle it? I think the one thing is like trying, right? Trying everything. We were
yeah,
like going to like, exhibitions and, just being a vendor out there. We were trying like walking into different stores and asking them if they can, take our products and, just supplying to them.
mm,
Also, like I was really, one thing actually did not work because I came to the US, but one thing that was like going very well for us was also networking with people that were interested to get into that business.
mm,
But we're not familiar with the business, or like they're
yeah,
not designers, they're not manufacturers, they're like they have the money but they don't really have the craft.
mm,
So one of the things I was working on was like trying to get those kind of people and maybe partnering with them
yeah,
to see if they can bring the money and I can bring the expertise, the craft and things like that, and we can actually make it a business together.
yeah,
And I think that's one thing you're doing as well, which is investment, right? For your agriculture
yeah,
project as well. Like you're trying to bring in a lot of investors. So I think
mm,
that's something that is not as, I don't know about like other countries in Africa, but in Ethiopia, it wasn't as really, it was not something that most people practiced, especially small
yeah,
businesses. But I think that is something that we should practice more, and we should, encourage more, because there are a lot of people that have money and there
yeah.
are a lot of people that have the
Indeed,
talent. So they
indeed.
can come together, collaborate, work together,
Yeah.
and create something
Mm.
big.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I've realized one of the issues or problem I'll say we have in our continent is that, um, we have a lot of people that talk and
Mm-hmm.
less people that act, right? Like when, you know, if you ask for ideas, like people they will share like thousands of ideas that, oh, you should do that, you should do this, and then when you say, okay, opportunity is here, let's do it. Uh, they don't even want to do anything. They become skeptical. Say, oh, tell us, like, what's your name, can you give us the registration number of your organization and all this stuff things. Anyways,
Actually, that's a good point. Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think people actually have a lot of
I love that.
ideas?
Now you
Because
know
I
that
get
we're
that.
having conversation. All right, now you know that we have this is I love this one.
Yeah, I say that a lot of times as well, because I
Yeah,
get like a lot of people tell me like, oh, I've been
yeah,
thinking about, even about SKADMAS, about my
yeah,
business. I'm like, oh, I used to think about doing something like that, for a
yeah,
long time. I was like, why didn't you do it then? It's like,
yeah.
why
Indeed.
not? So
Yeah.
why do you think that is?
That's a really good question. I want to answer that based on my experience because
Mm-hmm.
2022 last year we said we're gonna be brutally honest with ourselves, so we keep 100%. That's
Okay.
how honest we are. Yeah. Um. You know. Hmm. I'll share this in the like, um, in two different ways, right? The first way I responded as a single country, like here in Tanzania or in Ethiopia or whatever country you guys are watching at, and
Mm-hmm.
also share this in general, like when you bring together all these different countries and different people.
Yeah.
So starting from here in the country where I am, or in your country, um, I think uh, you know Africans, we have been through a lot of experiences, and most of them are bad.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to investment, most of the experiences that we had is the shortcut
Mm-hmm.
investments. Like people are coming with brilliant ideas. They
Mm-hmm.
show you the money, how much money you're going to make. At the end of the day, you give your money and you don't get anything. Those people disappear. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of cases happen here in my country and in some of African countries because people, honestly, people are lazy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to work their butt off to get something out of their own effort, but they're finding
Mm-hmm.
a shortcut ways how to earn money, and that's why the corruption is really high because
Mm-hmm.
people they don't do their job. You
Yeah.
give them money, they do their job, right? Like they need that. So because of that mentality, I think it affects everyone. It affects our young people. Like it affects everybody in the society, and people, they always look for money. Like if
Mhm.
it's something to be done, they look for easiest way to make fast money. All right,
Mhm.
and those are things that I think a lot of us, a lot of attentions are focused on that, right? And so, when you come with an idea, people, they don't trust your idea. They don't
Mhm.
trust that you are legit. They'll be like,
Mhm.
oh no, I don't want to do it. I don't believe this. This is a scam.
Mhm.
It's sometimes they don't even have money, but they say it's a scam because they because of whatever experience they've been through in the past, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's one thing. Another thing is just, we're not very supportive. Like we don't really we're not really loyal with one another. We don't stand with ourselves.
Yeah.
I would rather donate my money in the the World Food Organization, or or whatever organization, there. I don't want to mention the names here. Those
Yeah.
international organization, I trust them. Most of them, they come from the UN, so I'll donate there, but not give my donation or my investment into the local companies, I guess, because of all those reasons that I mentioned. So I've seen that it's a big struggle. A lot
Mhm.
of people are struggling with that. They're like, you give them everything, you give them evidence, you say that this is how it's gonna be, you give them the plan, but they're not gonna believe that. Like, what if you run away? And
Yeah.
it's okay to ask that, but it's too extreme, right, where we are
Mhm.
right now. And so it's hard. And in general, again, I think it's the same thing that I said. I think we don't really uh, uh, for me, I always come here to fight for one Africa, because I feel like most of us, we just think about our countries. We're very
Mhm.
selfish and self-centered. All right,
Mhm.
I just think about Tanzania. And so if you are coming here, you're from Ethiopia, and you have an idea, you want to invest, I'll be like, oh, you're Ethiopian? No, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have that in Africa. And so you find out that people who are supporting you, mainly they might be coming maybe from your country,
Yeah.
and not really from other corners of Africa, because of that, that division mentality that we have, that, oh, this is my country, that is your country. We don't have that oneness.
Yeah.
And that's the big issue. And that's why we are trying to bring Africa together. We
Mhm.
tried to do that for 3 years. And now, after 3 years, we're bringing the project that, guys, okay, we've been talking about this for 3 years now. Let's do something. But still,
Mhm.
people, they're not responding, right? Like,
Mhm.
still, they're not responding. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
some of them they're running away, which is okay, it's fine. But we're gonna do it whether you have one or two people. But this is what I was talking about, that we just talk a lot, but when it's the time to deliver, we don't do. And that's why Africa, we're not going forward, we're going backward. And that's why
Mhm.
today you have leaders who do not do their job properly. And they just want to get money for themselves, get all this wealthy for themselves, and
Yeah.
they care nothing about the people. But this is
Yeah.
how we build the leadership of tomorrow, by
Yeah.
what we are doing here, right? By coming together, bring all of our nationalities together, seeing each other as Africans, and not as, yeah, you are Ethiopian, you are, no, but seeing each other as African, that you're doing a good work, I'll support you regardless of who you are. I'll
Yeah.
support you. I have a platform. Why should I not support you? You
Exactly.
have a platform. Why should you not support me? I'm an African and I do something good. So yeah, that's on my side, and I would love to hear from you. What do you think that's the case?
I think I see it like just from your response. I
Yeah.
will separate it into two topics, which is the first one is like investment, right? Like when someone
Yeah.
have an idea, just supporting or like investing in that idea with their money or like with their
Mm.
time. I think that's a little like a hard thing to do for most people. Even here, it is not easy to get an investment money unless it
Yeah.
is like a proven area where like actually, for example, if it is tech, Silicon Valley, it is like it's a lot easier for you to get money from investors because they know they're gonna get like a lot of money and they're hoping
Mm.
they'll be investing
Mm.
in the next for Facebook or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other areas it is not easy. But also
Mm.
when you come to Africa, it is sometimes which is one thing I also want to talk more about with you as well, is like what you said, right? Like the short
Mm.
the shortcut, or like
Yeah.
wanting to get into something that they know they will make a
Mm,
lot of money. Also, it is like something that already been done. If it is like
mm,
if a restaurant is business is doing great, like just going to a restaurant and like renting the place next to that restaurant and opening the same restaurant basically,
yeah.
or something. And instead
Mm,
of being like innovative,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that is, I think, the biggest issue. So when you come up with something new, most people are not comfortable because we are not used to doing something
Yeah.
innovative, something, life
Yeah.
changing, or like
Yeah.
something that can make a difference.
Mm,
I
mm,
think our mindset is not, a lot of people, I know there are a lot of people that think like that, uh, but for most part, I think we don't have that kind of mindset yet.
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
for us to change as Africans,
Mm,
or even as an Ethiopian, Tanzanian, anyone who want to
mm,
make a change, you have to be someone who take risk, and you have to be
yeah.
someone who is willing to do something that hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like if everybody is doing the same thing, then nothing
Mm,
is going to change. So if you're
mm,
like, if everybody is going to go and invest in like a restaurant or hotel business
mm,
because they know, so like different people who've done it and who've been like
yeah.
profitable, then it's like, okay, you're just going to be another hotel. You're not going
Mm,
to make a difference. But if
mm.
you're starting something that haven't been done, then it is going to be challenging. It's not
Oh
going to
yeah.
be a shortcut. It's not, you might not be able to like, get a lot of money back, as soon, like
Mm,
fast, but you're going
mm,
to make a difference. You're going to
yeah.
change
Yeah.
people's life. You're going to transform that country and Africa as a whole to a next level. So I
Yeah.
think we don't have that mindset yet. And
Mm,
unless we start to have that kind of mindset, and unless like, especially the young generation like me and you, come
mm,
to this kind of mindset and start
yeah.
changing the conversation and start changing how we do business, I don't think we can make change basically.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. I'm loving this conversation. Like, I love the direction of this conversation. I know
Thank
you guys who are watching as well. Yeah. If you have your answers and opinion, you can continue to share in the comment section and talk to one another. Yeah. That's Please ask me a lot of questions like that. I love those kind of questions. The questions that, really, yeah, my hope is this, that we change. All
Mm-hmm.
right, we change, because if we do not change, we're not going to change Africa.
Yes.
We need to change first. One
Yes.
of our mission is to decolonize the mind, and let me share here so that our people can be, reading our mission here to just understand more about what we stand for. Let me share here and read just a little bit, little quick. Yeah, this is our mission: to defend the image and bring back all the heritage of Africa,
Mm-hmm.
decolonize the mind through authentic knowledge, and create a bridge for oneness and a peaceful Africa.
Yeah.
So that unless we change, we're not gonna change Africa. So we
Yes.
have to we have to change. And you've spoken something about risk. Every investment is risk. There's one investment I've done, last year, and just today I got a news. I mean, I got a report that, hey, I mean, you lost A, B, C, D, three, and what was my first thought came to my mind. My first thought was like, all right, I'm gonna do it again,
Mm-hmm.
because it was the first time. Now I know why it happened like that. So I wrote down the plan. I told the guy that I'm working with, I was like, okay, so first you're going to do this, second this, third this, and then we're going to kick off. And we're not going to fail.
Yeah.
Failure is not an option, right? So in investment, yes,
No, no, no. I'm supporting it in investment and everything. There's gonna
yeah,
be a risk. In Africa, one thing is right. Like even when you wanna have a project in Africa, for example,
yeah,
here, and you wanna get investments, it's very hard for people who are from outside because there are a lot of like the political issues,
yeah,
instability, and a lot of things for people who are not Africans to that they might feel like, oh, not comfortable. But for Africans, I think unless we actually start taking that risk and actually
yeah,
maybe sacrifice, for example, right?
yeah,
It might
yeah,
not work, but sacrificing our time, sacrificing our knowledge, and our money to make a difference is
mm,
going to be worth it because we're going to change lives. We're going to make a difference. It's going to be like
yeah,
we're going to make history. And I think
mm,
that's how we should approach doing business in Africa.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
as business people,
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as business people, we definitely have to make money. We have to find a way to be
Yeah.
profitable. That's how you stay
Yeah.
in business.
Mm.
But when we choose what to do and what kind of business to participate in, I think we should not only like look at from the money part of it, but we should
Yeah.
look, okay, is this gonna change lives? Is this gonna
Yeah.
make a
Okay.
difference? How is it gonna um, make a difference, basically?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like people
Yeah.
are, especially like just talking from Ethiopian as an Ethiopian, right? People are very willing to die for
Mm.
Ethiopia. For example, if you say like, oh, we're facing a war,
Mm.
it's like almost 90% of the people, I'm sure they're like hype and happy to go,
Yeah.
because it's just like they have this sense of nationality and sense of like, okay, we have to
Mm.
protect ourselves, we have to protect our dignity. But
Mm.
I think we should see doing business just like that as well, making a difference just like that. It is a sacrifice that we make for our people, make for Africa, to actually make a difference. Not
Yeah.
only talk, it's like not only complain, but we have
Yeah.
to take action. And taking action and trying to make a difference is gonna cost us something. It's gonna cost money, time. It's gonna cost us something, but we have to be willing to do that to make a difference.
And we gotta admit that a lot of time when you do some good to make difference, you don't have a lot of supporters. That's how it is. Good things they don't get attention these days.
Yes.
If I will make this video and the response from this video is not gonna be as a lot as if we put a video here of somebody showing their butt, or me doing some crazy challenge of being naked or whatever. You see, so it's the world we're living in, and for me that's one of the reasons that I hated business before. I
Mhm.
hated just business. I hated I you know I, I'm an economist, all right. That was my major. And one day we were having this presentation with our professor, and I was taking this business class, and I stood and I told professor that this is the reason why I hate business, because
Mhm.
when you look at the business, people are just they just want to make profit. That's
Mhm.
what they do. Sometimes the service is not even as quality as supposed to be, because as long as I have a name, I have a business that a lot of people knows. I keep reducing the quality of my business. Like if I already have a name, then I can just change, twist. People they'll come, they'll buy it anyways.
Mhm.
Like for instance, there's one really big, you know, cafe in the world. I don't want to mention the name again, but I go there sometimes. I drink it. I'm like, what kind of coffee is this? I make
Exactly.
better coffee than this. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely
But
know who you're talking about.
what I'm saying, but because of that brand, people they still go there and buy, but it's crappy, coffee. I'm like, man, I make better coffee than this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to go there ever again. But so I said I really hate, because of that. And my professor challenged me, say, so Mika, don't just say that you hate and refuse to do business or stop
Mhm.
doing business. Go in the business and make a difference.
Yes.
You see where is what is the missing puzzle. He said, go and plug it in and study.
Yes.
So he actually really encouraged me, and I was like, all right, man, I'm going to change this thing. Whatever business I'm going to do, I'm going to take good care of the customers. I'm going to take good care of the people who are working in that
Yeah.
business, taking care
Mhm.
of their well-being, not
Mhm.
just using them. Because today this guy might be sick in some
Yeah.
businesses, and then you get fired. That okay, we need to hire some. Yes, you need to create more, but do you really care of the well-being of the people who have been investing and working for you for all those years? Right.
Yes.
So, and that's what we want to do, those kind of business that we want to run. In those, if you work in those kind of environment, even the productivity is going to be higher.
Yes.
Creativity is going to be higher,
Mhm. Mhm.
because people are motivated,
Yeah.
to do the work. So yeah, I think
Exactly.
that. And you
Yeah,
look
I
like that
agree.
kind of folks.
Yeah, I agree. I actually love that you brought that up. I think that's something that I advocate for very much as well. Being uh, it is called a social enterprise, right? Social or
Yeah.
like impact based businesses. Doesn't like business doesn't always have to be only like just maximizing like your profit at all
Mm.
cost. I know that is like one part of business
Yeah.
But I don't agree with that, and we don't have to do that in 2023 either. As you said,
Yeah.
people are very important, and especially for Africans, right? We have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be. I'm very much like a big advocate for, like, when we
Yeah.
try to get into business, don't
Mm.
only think about like where do I get as much money as possible. Like, think
Yeah.
about like where do I make a difference? Where do I change things?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and when you think about that, you get into the right kind of businesses that actually, like, after, like, there are a lot of business peoples and brands that we actually remember till this day. We read about their businesses and
Yeah.
things like that, not because they made a lot of money, mostly
Yeah.
because they made a difference. They change how we live. They change how we, can be, creation, like, it can be car, it could be phones,
Yeah.
things like that. There are a lot of brands that change how we think, how we live,
Mm.
how we transport, a lot of
Mm.
things. And when you think about it, a lot of people told them they were crazy. A lot of people did not support them. But today we learn about them, we read about them, because they just made a difference. They made a history.
Mm.
And I think life is not only about, like, just making as much money as possible. It's
Yeah.
changing lives. It's
Yeah.
making a difference. It is
Mm.
leaving the world, better than you found it, basically, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, especially as Africans, our continent, our community is a place where it has a lot of problems. There are a lot of issues. So we have to start thinking, okay, out of
Mm.
this thousands, millions of issues, which one do I want to tackle?
Yeah.
Because we all have parts to play, and we
Yeah.
have to think, okay, what is my part, or like where do I can contribute? Like, where can I
Absolutely. Absolutely.
contribute?
Absolutely. All right. So let's go back to our conversation. And I want to ask you this. So you already started this business. You're
Mm-hmm.
trying to, tackle all these little challenges that you're facing in
Yes.
the beginning stage. And then all of a sudden, top, you're moving to the US. I want to know why you moved, first of all. Second, that as well, it's a risk that you took because you already started something here, but then you
Mm-hmm.
move, you're going to start somewhere else from the scratch. I want to know why you did that. Was it like because of the business, or you had some, other reasons why you decided to move? And the challenge of moving the business from here in the, because it's different. Like if me doing business here in my country and doing somewhere else, it's completely different.
It is.
Yeah, I want to know the process. Like, how was the process of that?
Yeah, so I think there is like a long story why I started,
Yeah.
wanting to go to the US. I'm
Mm.
not gonna get into that, but the 1 year that I told you, was I was living with my aunt. I was already actually processing to come here for school. So
Yeah.
that 1 year I was living with her, I was already in the process of moving.
Yeah.
So that was why I moved actually to Addis to live with her. Then just during that time I got into helping her. But as I
Mm.
told you, I always taught myself to be like academic like person. I was like, I
Yeah.
always wanted to just go to school, my degree, my master's and things like that. I've actually never seen myself being a businesswoman.
Yeah.
So even while helping her, it was not, in my mind actually to build a business. It's just I wanted
Yeah.
to help her build her business. It was like my thing. So when I
Yeah.
came to the US, I was like, I'm gonna go to school and just continue to support her with my
Yeah.
goal. So I
Mm.
decided to come here, and about like almost for 2 years that was like purely my intention, again, like just helping her,
Mm.
trying to find a way to help
Mm.
her, even
Mm.
after coming here. So
Mm.
that was my journey. And after I get getting here, as you said, it's like it's very different. Business is very different in the US than it is in Ethiopia. There are a lot of different ways that you can do it. In Ethiopia is very limited. Things that you do is like, if you want to
Yeah.
have a business, like you rent a storefront and like open a store and sell from there. Or it is like you have to be like a supplier to a store and things like that,
Mm.
to a shop, basically. That's
Yeah.
how it works. But here there are a lot of opportunities, for e-commerce. Back then in Ethiopia, like, I actually did not know what e-commerce was. I actually did not know I can sell stuff online. That's all
Mm.
something that I learned after coming here.
Yeah.
So there,
Yeah.
there were a lot of ways. Actually, just to give you an example, the funny story. I came
Mm.
to New York because actually when I came to the US, I moved to DC first. That was where I
Yeah.
went. Then I came to New York to visit it, and I went to Times Square. And I
Mm.
don't know if you know, that's like the most busiest city. It's just like a lot of stores, shops,
Yeah.
like lights. I was like,
Mm.
I saw all the like shops, and I'm like, oh my god, I belong here. Like I have to come here because all of these shops like is something that I can talk to them, and maybe they can buy my aunt's bags and things like that. So I thought that. So
Yeah.
I moved to New York. I didn't know
Mm.
nobody. I just like
Wow.
found an apartment and moved.
Wow.
And everybody was like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Yep," but I'm going. So I moved. Uh,
Yeah.
then the next day, I went to Times Square and
Mm.
I started walking into the shops, like big stores. And I
Mm.
started like asking them, oh, we make this kind of leather bags, can you
Yeah.
buy them? And those are like
Mm.
stores that are like for tourists.
Wow.
They sell
Wow.
like I love New York or like
Mm.
Liberty and stuff and like
Mm.
keychains and things like that where people can go
Mm.
and like buy so they can
Mm.
like remember New York kind of. So I was like,
Mm.
we can make you like accessories with I love New York,
Wow.
engraved and all of that. Then they were like, okay, some of them they were like they're like department stores.
Mm.
The buying decision does not people do not make buying decisions in that stores. Like they have
Mm.
hundreds of stores all over the country, so you
Yeah.
can't do that. You can't just walk it. But I learned that
Mm.
through the process. But some of them they
Yeah.
gave me orders. I was so happy. I told
Mm.
my aunt, she was so happy. I was like, I felt
Mm.
like I made it. I felt like I knew what to do.
Mm.
Then we made samples and I took it to
Mm.
them and they were like, so it was like wallets that have like I love New York on them.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I took it to them and they're like, oh, this is the product. And they were like, that I love New York is actually it is trademarked. You can't use it.
Oh.
I
Okay.
love New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like, either you have to buy the license or
Mm.
something, but you cannot use it. I was like, dang, I didn't know.
Mm.
So that was like, oh my God, okay, there are a lot
Learning
of things
process.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're
that was,
learning. Yeah.
oh yeah. So that was one
Mm.
of learning experiences. So I was like, okay, there are a lot of things I need to learn. I need to take back,
Yeah.
take time and
Yeah.
learn about it. So yeah.
Mm. That's amazing. That's really incredible. You are very courageous, and I mean, doing that the new place. I mean, you gotta be very courageous to do that. So yeah, kudos to you. Kudos to you. And I want to know what's the meaning of SKADMAS. By the way, what's the meaning of that?
SKADMAS means SKADMAS, which means till the horizon, like till the horizon.
Till
So
the horizon.
yes. So I
Till
wanted
the
to
horizon.
use that till the horizon.
Mm,
I wanted to use that name. I have like story actually. So that name
yeah.
I heard it when I was in middle school. I
Mm,
was living in one of my neighbors when I was living there, like in middle school.
yeah.
He has a son called like Skadmas, and I was like, what does
Mm,
that mean? He told me like Skadmas, it's like clear. I was like, oh, okay, okay. So I really
mm.
liked the name, and I was like, one day I'll have some kind of organization, and I'm gonna call it Skadmas. So I always saved it in my head.
Yeah. The
Yes,
horizon.
so yeah, the first day I registered my business, actually people spend a lot of time trying to choose name. I did not
Yeah.
spend like 1 hour. I was like Skadmas, period.
Yeah. Dang, these are incredible pro. Do you guys see these? I'm trying to show you here on the screen. You guys see this? These are pretty good looking stuff. Look at that. Oh, so who designed this? Like, are you like designing all of this, or you kind of like have like the team of designers who are coming with different ideas and brainstorming them? Let me know the process of designing this stuff.
Okay. So SKADMAS is like a marketplace for artisans in Africa, basically across Africa. So most of these products are made by different artisans, designed by different artisans, and made by different artisans across. For
Yeah.
now, we're focusing in Ethiopia, but we want to expand eventually. But they're
Yeah.
made by different. For example, the jewelries.
Yeah.
She is called. It is made by an artisan called Lensa. She
Mm-hmm.
has a brand called African Statement. She
Mm-hmm.
is very talented. So this is like a platform for her. We have a collection for her, and this is
Yeah.
her product. So I don't really have any really, I don't design them, I don't make them. I only
Mm.
actually maybe help with ideas. I might like give
Yeah,
uh, consultation on like how to make the product based on like the market, like different kind of
yeah,
things. I consult them. But for the leather bags, I design most of them because that's like where I started with my
yeah,
aunt. I design a
yeah,
lot of bags, a lot of clothings. Now I've started designing clothings, and I will have
mhm,
one of the artisans make them.
yeah.
But the rest, I actually really is just made by the artisans themselves. I don't really have any hand in that,
Mm,
except consulting and giving my opinion.
mm. I gotta admit, I mean, I gotta admit, you have really good matters here. Presenting this stuff. I think that changes everything. The product plus the matter is like, it's like you're looking at the creation of Almighty God. Because
Yes. Yes, and that's one of the things we want to do is,
yeah,
Africa has a lot of beautiful stuff. African artisans have, a lot of talents, and they make, wonder, to be honest. It's the beautiful
yeah,
stuff, but they don't
uh-huh,
really always have the platform, and they don't really
yeah,
always have the resources to showcase them in like a beautiful way like this. So that's
hmm,
one of the things we want to actually make happen for them. We want to consult them on how to actually showcase their products, how to do a
yeah.
professional, photo shoots, product photo shoot, how to market their products, how to brand their brands basically.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things that we try to consult them with.
This is amazing. Like basically, like I love that. I love that. Your story is very inspirational. Like it
Thank
really inspires me, and I hope it does inspire other people. That your auntie was doing this business, and then growing up seeing that, and then later on she stopped, and then you wanted to carry on that legacy. Helping her to make something big, something huge, and then you end up like doing it very seriously. But not only for you and for your aunt, now you have this platform that you created for actually people to come and to showcase their product, right? To it's really incredible. And I think our conversation and what we're talking about, it's not just the thoughts we have, but it's the life we're living in, right?
exactly.
This, yeah, creating platform and allowing people to shine and all this stuff. For me, I'll say this for everybody who's watching here, man. Like, you don't have to go to Gucci store to buy some jewelries, all right? And there's a lot of money right there. There's a lot of jewels here. You can support African products like this. You know,
Exactly.
there's bags here for, I see like bags for laptop. There's wallet bags and all this stuff. Man, look at this stuff, man. Man, like, my goodness, this is this is beautiful. This is wonderful. Hopefully one day I'll get one of these.
Yeah.
So that when I talk here, I'll be showing the cases so that this the,
Yes, I'm sure you will one day.
yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Thank
Then
you.
let me ask you this. So in every stage of business, if you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, and you're a senior, the more you go high, the more you face a lot of challenges, and the fear of losing everything, the fear of keeping your customers, the fear of creating the better version of your products, promotions and all this stuff. We always have these concerns. So people, they feel like when you get there, then you're done. But
Yeah.
in reality, when you get there, like things are getting more harder and more tougher. So I want to know, what are the challenges that you are facing, and how are you tackling them, and this as well to people who are watching there, uh, just to know that when you reach to this certain level, this is what you should expect,
Hmm, hmm.
to be facing. And I think this is how we can overcome together as a community. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think on all like skills as a business owner, you face a lot of challenge as visionary. but especially mostly for people who are like us, who are choosing to actually empower people, help people through their businesses, right? So as a designer, for example, I can take my designs and just manufacture them in China, for example. That would be a lot more easier for me,
mm,
right? But I'm actually choosing it to manufacture in Ethiopia, work with artisans in Ethiopia, because that's what I want to do. I want to actually create opportunities and I want to change lives. It's not only about the money for me. So,
mm,
and when you have that kind of mindset and when you have that kind of business model, it is not
yeah,
always easy. You know, you are actually facing the same challenge that these artisans face, and like in every steps there's barriers.
mm,
So we face a lot of challenge, especially because we work with small artisans, because we work with um, yeah, business people in Ethiopia, small artisans who don't have that much capacity, who don't have the money. So that is one of the things that I spend a lot of time, most of my time the past 2 years as well, like creating a system to actually tackle that,
yeah,
not only just tackle the challenge as SKADMAS, actually tackling the challenge for the artisans themselves, because we work with most of
yeah,
them. So one thing that we're working on is right now partnering with different organizations who are actually working in the same area, and who has the same vision as we do. So there
mm,
are recently we're talking with like incubators in Ethiopia, for example, you know, organizations that work in
yeah,
incubation, you know, to help businesses to grow, basically to refine their ideas, their products.
mm,
So we want to partner with them to make sure that these products come out perfect, you know, to come out like high quality, because
yeah,
our goal is to help these artisans, you know, be able to compete in the international market. And for
mm,
that, you need great quality, you need great
yeah,
designs, you need, you know,
yeah,
consistency, a lot of things.
mm,
So we're trying to work with them to help us with that,
mm,
because you know this is a lot of work. We cannot do it by ourselves. We have to come together, we have to work together. That's the only
yeah,
way we can actually make a real change. The other
mm,
one is, we also like the other challenge that we face is resources, right? Most of our
mm,
artisans have a problem with machineries, have a problem with capital,
yeah,
tools, raw materials, and all of that. So for
mm,
that, we also trying to partner with other different organizations. It can be the government, it can be nonprofit organizations, whoever have the resources and whoever have
yeah,
similar vision as we do. We want to
mm,
partner with them. You know, so for example, a couple of months ago, we were able to get two of our artisans to machineries that were very
mm,
expensive for them and very expensive for us as well. But there
mm,
was an organization who was working in that area, and they were able to give them that machinery, and it really
yeah,
transformed their work. They were able to make designs that they couldn't make if they didn't have that machinery. They were able to make it faster. So those are the things that we do to tackle our problem, like
yeah.
connecting with others, collaborating, and working together. I think is the main thing.
Mm. That's amazing. I love it. And talking about the designing and everything, I need to give you this credit that the way your website looks, how you arrange it. I give a compliment about
Thank you.
matters, because that's what I was saying. To be honest, like the arrangement and everything, it's really well organized. It looks professional, it looks clean, it looks amazing. Like I don't see different with a lot of other big designs that are out there. And all these brands, they're big because people support it, because people
Exactly.
buy their products. So we can
Exactly.
actually make this brand biggest brand in the world by us as Africans coming together and support it. That's the only thing that we got to do. I'm doing my part right now. It's up to you guys to do your part. you
Yeah.
know uh, all
100%.
exactly. That's how we can lift each other. um
Yeah.
but
And
I
just
love.
to add on
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
so most of these big brands, if you know, like that you mentioned, right? They've been around for a while. You know, they have the resources, they have money. You know, they can access money easier than we do as Africans. But for us, you know, for African brands and businesses, you know, the only resource that we have is the people, you know, our people, Africans. So it's just only when we come together and when we support these businesses
Yeah.
that we can grow as a business. It's not only for SKADMAS, for any
Mm.
brand, you know, African brand, you know. Let's
Yeah.
actually make it our mission to to support whenever we can, because
Yeah.
again, that's the main resources that we have. We don't really have that much money, access to money. They don't have that much resources that we can tap into. The only resource that we have
Mm.
is the people and like us coming together. So yeah.
I appreciate. Yeah, exactly. I want to appreciate Jimmy for your super chat, and I would say thank you, Malta and Mika. What a wonderful conversation. This is the music
Oh,
to my ear. I have a great hope in young Africans. One Africa is our future. I
yes,
appreciate that, Jimmy.
love that.
That means
Thank you,
that
Jimmy.
means a lot. This is the support we're talking about. You see, Malta, the
Exactly.
support we're talking about. Jimmy, you got what I was trying to say, right? Um, somebody's asking here a question. Say this, that e- so many female engineering students are jobless after graduation. What your company did for them before, and if not yet do that, what is your plan on this for future? If it's a question you would like to answer, you can
Yes.
answer as well.
I would love to answer that because I love the question. That's one of the things that we focus on and also we hope to accomplish through our
Mm.
business, right? Like actually reducing the unemployment rates in Africa. Because,
Yeah,
yes, a lot of people are unemployed, but it doesn't only come in a form of like actually finding a job in a company. We actually want to encourage
yeah,
entrepreneurship. We actually want to encourage, okay, you're an engineer, you have a knowledge, and especially as Africans,
mm,
especially women, they have a lot of talents, that we know how to sew, we know how to make crafts, and it's like growing
mm,
up, right? Most Africans, and it's like
yeah,
take that knowledge, take that knowledge from school, take that knowledge from your mom and from your village, put it together, think about like how can I create job actually for myself, how can I turn this into business. And that's one of
yeah,
the things that we work on is, okay, if you have the talent, actually we just started a series called The Pearls, where we
mm,
actually discover people who have the talent but who haven't been able to turn that talent into business yet, and we
mm,
actually help them to do that. We go
mm,
there, we talk about it. Okay, what can you make? Oh, I can make um like some kind of craft, right? Oh, I can make jewelries, but I haven't
mm,
been selling them, I haven't turned them into business. Okay, we
mm,
consult them, we give them the resources, and okay, you actually can turn that into business, and you can generate income for yourself, you can create a job for yourself. And
mm,
why is this very great is because it's not only if you actually work hard, and if we help them to be successful in this, not only they will create jobs for themselves, not only they will be able to support themselves, they will
yeah,
actually, as they grow, they will create jobs for others as well.
mm,
So as a SKADMAS, we like to say we don't create jobs, we actually support businesses so they can create jobs. Okay, so we
mm,
don't, if we support
mm,
1%, if we give 1% an employment, they're
yeah,
just an employee, right?
mm,
But if you help one business and they
mm,
grow and they get to hire
yeah,
5 people, now
mm,
you're actually creating job for like supporting 6 people
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So we
Uh,
we we love to focus on the business more than we just do like individual employment basically.
Yeah, and it is the time for us to do that. It is the time for us to invest, to open as many businesses as we can, because we have a lot of mzungu in our countries doing businesses for a very long time. Before independence, even after independence, they're still doing. There's a lot of money that go outside every single year. And
Yeah,
now it's really sad. It's really sad when you look at the contract. I was looking at something today that I see the government only get like 16%.
mm,
16% of something like gold, something like diamond, 16% of
mhm,
it's like, why not doing like Botswana? Botswana, they say 50-50. If you're not giving 50, we're out of here.
yeah,
We because we Africans, what are we doing? Are we going to invest? Are we going to do business? Are we going to support? Are we going to stand with our people who are already in there and actually invest and do something?
exactly,
Because if we do with us, all that money comes to the country. If I get
exactly.
50% from my company, I'll pay tax. It come back to the
Hmm.
country. But if
Hmm.
somebody else get, it goes to their country. You know, the,
Exactly.
it's it, that the what the you're not gonna have that money, in your country. So it's a time for us to come with different ideas. It's time for us to support initiative. It's a time for us. I love the fact that you say you created that platform, because that's what we did. When we were starting, we say, this platform, this YouTube channel is not Mika's YouTube channel. It's Africa's YouTube channel. It's One
Mm-hmm.
Africa. So as long as you have ability, you have creativity mind, you have all those stuff, you always have this platform to come in your home, to introduce, to share, to do whatever. And we don't charge anything, because this is your platform, and we want people to this to be a place for them to learn, to grow, and to have those moments. So I really hope that we can do that, and invest in our countries, support our local businesses, and try to grow as much as we can for our own sake. you
Exactly.
know
And just to
Mm.
add on that, one thing I want to say is actually business is creating small businesses. Entrepreneurship is the most effective and like the
Yeah.
fastest way to actually develop, to come out of poverty as a community, as a country, as a continent. Because as
Mhm.
I told you, it has a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Creating one business versus one job, it is very different, because when you create a business, you actually multiply the productivity. So it is a lot more faster for countries to move out of poverty if they focus
Mm.
on business. Just you can see China, you can see a lot of other
Yeah.
countries who've been
Absolutely.
able to move, lift their people out of poverty because they focused on creating businesses, entrepreneurship, and things like that. And what you said about, for example, gold and different resources that Africa have, right? Not only just the natural, but the cultural resources even that we have. You can see a lot of other people who are now part of the culture actually turning that into business and benefiting
Yeah.
from our clothings, our crafts, and things like that more than Africans do. And it's because
Mhm.
you can't even blame that, because we're not using it, we're not in the market,
Mm.
we're just sleeping on
Yeah.
all of that. And as far
Mm.
as natural resources, that's one of the things that we work on as well, value adding.
Mm.
That's the only way you can actually get the most benefit out of your natural resources. If
Mm.
you're actually exporting gold as it is, you're actually missing out on a lot of like
Mm.
opportunities,
Yeah.
versus if you're actually processing the gold there, making it into jewelry,
Mm.
then selling it. Think about how many jobs that you can create by just
Mm.
adding that process.
Mm.
So one
Mm.
of our artisans on SKADMAS is actually, they make, her name is Blaine. I really love their business, and I love her as an entrepreneur, because what they make jewelries out of gemstones,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
which is
That's beautiful.
beautiful, because mostly
Appreciate.
gemstones, they be like, they people other from other countries, they
Mm.
come into Ethiopia, they all see, they buy it, and they will take it rough.
Mm. Mm.
But
Mm. Mm.
what she's doing is she's actually working with group of women who process that into jewelry, then
Mm.
into like refine it. Then she has group of women employees who makes it into jewelry. So think about how many jobs she's creating just by doing that. So we
Yeah.
have to do that with all of our resources.
No, this is beautiful. Like, look at this jewel, man. I'll buy one for my wife when I get one. This is incredible. Like, look at that. Man, let me maybe I'll buy even a ring of jewel stone. And he asked me, I'll be like, because I don't have a budget for diamond ring. It's it's beautiful. Look at that, man. This is this is beautiful. I love this. This is really good. Someone here, not not leave me alone, man. Nat is asking a question. Yes, he say, what Martha field of study? What did you study in university?
I'm actually still in business. I'm doing economics as well, just like you.
Oh,
I've done multiple ones. I've changed a couple of times,
yeah.
but that will be a long story to go over. But right now, I'm doing economics.
Well, you're studying right now.
I am studying. Yeah, I took a couple of
Mm.
years, you can say, break, because I was,
Okay.
focusing on the business.
Yeah.
Even now, I'm taking it very slowly because, honey, I'm just doing too much right now. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the effect of business. I remember when I graduated, I said, I'm not gonna go back to school. There's a lot of things to be done, but yeah, I think you got your answer, Nati. So Malta, I would love to know if there's anything left you'd like to say, if you have any, final, you know, curiosity to me. And I think this will be the first phase of our conversation. This is not the last. So
Yes.
anytime we can have another conversation. If there's anything you like, in the future, be like, hey, Mika, I think, I have something, talk to my people. Why don't we have another session? We can always have. You
Thank
just
you.
need to, yeah, mention that. So, but for now, if you have anything, you know, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. I think I was able to say most of my thoughts and
Yeah.
my message. And I
Mm,
love how our conversation went. And we're
mm,
just such a like-minded people, and I love having conversation like this always.
mm,
But
mm.
as far as question for you, I was talking to you in the backstage before we started
Oh,
the live, and I
yeah.
said something. I was like, "Oh, I know you from the reaction, music
Oh,
video reactions." You're like, "Oh, I
yeah.
stopped that a long time ago," but you didn't finish
Yeah.
talking. So when did you
Uh,
stop? Because I thought you were like doing it until recently.
well, yeah, I stopped like it's like 2 years ago, like more than 2 years ago. I
That's
stopped doing
crazy.
reaction videos. I was saying actually when I started, so I started with reaction videos. That's how I started
Exactly.
this
That's how
channel.
I know you. Yeah, first.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of people find me. And even right now, up to date, a lot of people finding my reactions, and they just keep sending the requests. Please do reaction for this, for this, for this. So I appreciate the love. But people, they're still searching even right now for the reaction. So after doing it, I think I did for for 1 year. I did,
Okay.
and I gave everything. Like I gave 1,000% per day. Like I was doing reaction every single day, and
Oh
every
wow.
day I was sharing like 4 different videos.
Oh
Imagine
my God.
every single day in 1 year.
So
I
you
do
make it
reaction.
for videos, or what do you mean sharing for videos?
No, I did like reaction for 4 videos, like one from Ethiopia, one from Somalia, one from Tanzania, one from Kenya, sometimes
Every
from
day?
Rwanda. Every day. I was doing that every day, like 7 days a week, every single day, uploading 4 videos
Oh my God. That's
for
that's
1 year.
commitment.
Yes, that's commitment. You see, that's
People
commitment we're
learn.
talking about.
I
I
learned a
did.
lot from you. Just this because I'm not consistent when it comes to social media. I try, but I need
Oh,
to be more. This is
yeah,
crazy.
it's everything these days, social media. And I think that's, it was hard, to be honest. That was the time I was, losing my voice a lot of time, getting tired and all this stuff. Doing a lot of people, they upload like twice a week on YouTube, but I was doing it every day, and I was the only one. Even before I had, even before Asali came and joined me, we started to do reaction together, but I started alone. So I would do reaction, and then I will edit, and then I will share.
Wow.
I will share every single day. Even when Asali came at the beginning, because she didn't know how to edit and all this stuff. Again, we did together, but I still edited and I still share. Later on, she learned how to edit the video, so we could do like 4, and then 2. She'll edit, and then I'll edit 2, and then later on we did share. Did that for 1 year, every single day, consistency.
Dang.
But after 1 year, I think after 1 year, that's my reaction. When you see my reaction, you see like they're very long, because I
Mhm.
always had a session to give a little bit of a speech at the end.
Yeah.
So exactly. So I would talk for like 20 minutes. So some people that get really annoyed, they're like, man, your reactions are too long, this and this. But that was my style. That's how I did it. Nobody ever did that. So
Mhm.
later on, I realized that, actually, I should not just do reaction. I should be having a separate session of just talking, because I have a lot of things to share. But
Exactly.
yeah, so that's when the one Africa podcast started, because I was doing reaction, and then I started just to do the podcast, and I started to do live stream. And
Hmm.
then later on, I stopped doing reaction, because it was not in my heart. That was not what I
Hmm.
was called to do. I
Hmm.
was just doing reaction to expose different culture, to let other people know about different culture, but also to deliver my message, right? The
Hmm.
message through the reaction, through the songs. So later on, I stopped. I started to do live stream, and that's when everything went down, because a lot of people, they love entertainment. That's okay. When I realized that a lot of Africans love entertainment, and the trend is in the entertainment, and not something else. That's
Educational.
when I
Yeah.
that's when I stopped reacting at videos. 'Cause
Really?
Yeah, because I saw I get a lot of attention. I saw a lot of people love watching. I saw a lot of requests. Like they were just, and that was the time I was making money to when I was doing reaction. So people
Yeah.
they loved it and all this stuff. So when I was at the peak of that, that's when I stopped because
Uh,
I I realized that a lot of Africans we love entertainment, but there's a lot of
mm,
good and important issue to talk about and we do not address. So I stopped doing
mhm.
reaction. I started to do live stream. That's when I went down again. I started doing this live stream. I was the only one, at the beginning. Actually, it was not me the only one. I was like three people watching because I had my computer on, my phone, and my iPad on. So I was watching myself. Yeah. But as days goes on, people decide to come little by little. I remember the first person to come have a conversation with is Dr. Ebenezer. It's part of our team. I send love to him. That was the very first guy to come, and then later on, people came. So I was doing all this live stream again. Started to do every single day, to do live stream every single day. And after a year, that was like 2 years. That's when I moved back to Africa, and we kept doing that. We kept doing that, and now 3 years later, I'm not even doing live stream. I shared with you this before that this year I said I'm not gonna do a lot of live streams, but we're gonna do a lot of work.
Mm,
So we stop that and we start investing in agriculture. And guys, the deadline is on 15. Today is basically it's almost 14th. So we have like one day. If you're interested in investing, reach out to us. We're investing in agriculture, and reach out to us at info@sn1africa.com. Yeah. So right now things like completely change. I'm not doing reaction,
mhm.
those live stream, because those live stream at the beginning was little, but then later on, of course, people came,
Yeah.
they're watching, and they had a lot of audience. But again, right now, I kind of like cut them down again because we're focusing
Mhm.
on something else. So, God is leading us and guiding us like which direction to go, and we're trying to do that. And the strange thing is when we have a lot of attention and we have a lot of people watching and listening to us, that's when he always change the direction, and
Yeah.
we just need to obey and to follow that because we'll see the results
Exactly.
at the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful, and it just shows that how focused you are, and it's a growing process, right? If
Yeah.
most people, maybe including me, we would have maybe focused more on just continuing to do the reaction because we're like, okay,
Oh,
we're seeing results, we're just making money, we're getting the attention, the view, and we
yeah.
might think it is like, okay, I have to stay doing this. But for
Mhm.
you, you're very focused on your vision, and you have a vision. Basically, that's what I can tell from like hearing
Mhm.
your progress. Basically, so
Yeah.
when you see, it's like, okay, my journey has been nice. I've known a lot of people. I have a platform, but this is not my vision. So I have to switch. I have to
Yeah.
turn and go. So,
Yeah.
and that's like a sign of a visionary, basically. So most
Mhm.
people, even for me, when you ask me about education, right? Like when you even want to go to school, mostly people would tell you, okay, no, you have to study this because you're gonna make a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
money, you're gonna get jobs. But
Mm.
like, okay, but that's not my vision. That's not what I want to do. It's
Mm.
not about
Mm.
money because I have vision. And as you said, it's like maybe
Yeah.
doing reaction might have get you more money, more views, but that
Yeah.
is not what you want. You have a
Yeah.
vision and you're gonna follow that path. Uh,
Mm.
but every journey will also lead us into our next one.
Exactly.
Beautiful. You've
Yeah.
started doing reaction to expose
Mm.
different cultures, but also it helped you to know yourself, that
Yeah.
to understand that you want to talk more about
Mm.
educational stuff and like transit to this. Then now you
Yeah.
learn, okay, I just don't want to talk, sit and talk, I want to
Mm.
action. So it's
Yeah.
just, this just shows us like you have to take action. Some people,
Yeah.
sometimes we just sit and think, like just wait until everything is clear, everything
Yeah.
is safe to move, and things like
Mm.
that, and it would never be clear like that. It
Yeah.
usually get clear as we go, as we walk, as we take
Absolutely.
risk. We learn.
Absolutely.
We can't
Yeah.
just stand at the
Yeah.
beginning of the tunnel and hope to see the light from the
Yeah.
other side just
Mm.
without not moving. We
Yeah.
usually see the tunnel, the light from the other side, when we actually take that leap of faith, that
Oh yeah.
risk, and take that step, one at a time. Then we start getting
Mm.
closer,
Mm.
it will start getting, more clearer, and we're gonna get our vision. But it's not
Yeah.
about like just sitting and thinking. And it's just
Mm.
such inspiring, and just I learned
Yeah.
a lot from you. Thank you so much for sharing.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. And I really hope our people. I think when we start, you know, even when we are depressed and stressed, and you have your, you go to see a doctor or a counselor, talk to you. Most of the time, they will tell you that what, don't use your social media. Just just turn off all those noises that are coming from the outside, and just maybe meditate. They will tell you that,
Mhm.
pray, listen to the inner voice, what is trying to tell you, listen to God, what is trying to tell you. And I feel like us as Africans and our people, when if we reach to that point, the point of not following the trend. I always say this, that Swahili nation, we are not following any trend, but we are the trend. We are going
We're
to
trying to say
create
it.
those
Yeah,
trends. Exactly. We're
exactly.
going to show the way we are going. It's a vision, right? That if people are interested in this, we're not just going to do it because we're interested in that. We're going to do it because it's right time for us to do it, and because we are called to do that at that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you leave that, then you will see the impact. You'll see the impact not in the short term, you see in the long term. It will take a while, but we're building a legacy, and we're building Africa for the next generation. We're not building for us, we are
Yes,
building for our people. Our
exactly.
ancestors, they tried their best, but we're here where we are today, and we have our people dying because they don't have food, because of lack of planning. We
Yes,
didn't plan 60 years ago to have excessive amount of food for our people today. And today in Africa, people are dying. They don't have food.
exactly,
What are we
exactly,
gonna do in 50 years later? Are we gonna blame
exactly.
that we don't have rain? No, we have
Yes,
our brain, we have our minds, we can do smart farming and make it rain, for the
exactly.
next
Make it
generation.
rain.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
God has given us everything to use that. So me personally, and we decided to be the trend, to create that trend, that this is the direction to go. It's true. People, they're gonna follow some of them, they're gonna be like, no, they're not gonna fall, but that doesn't matter whether they're there to support or not. We're gonna move forward, and we're
mm-hmm.
going to achieve the vision of one Africa in our generation, because that's what we want to see. And all these things are just puzzles of what is about to come right there at the end.
Exactly.
And our
I love
people will
it.
have a better life. Our children, your children,
Yeah.
will have a better life in Africa
Mm-hmm.
than
Mm-hmm.
us. I don't want my children to run away from Africa to go to another country because my country is at war or is not stable, right?
Exactly.
And being treated as a foreigners while they have their own home. Why I should not create today a better home for my children, so that they may live in their own home, they may own their own land, their own business, and not be bothered like the way they're bothered today. They don't have a home, even in their own country, or when they go to another country, treated like, here in Africa. Like a lot of Africans, when they move to another country, they're being treated like illegal immigrants. That's
Yeah.
because of the lack of planning and preparations. We didn't do that back in the days. And we have
Exactly.
that responsibility today to do it, me and you, Malta, for our kids to enjoy the better life in Africa. And that's
Exactly.
what we're doing. So high
I
five to
love
you.
that. That is beautiful. And just what you said, right? It's like
Mm,
we're having the same problem that we had like 50 years ago, like 40 years ago. Like we had
mm,
drought 40 years ago, and we're facing the same thing. It is very sad, to be honest. It's like, how come we didn't make, like, how come we don't have a solution for it yet? We've
mm,
faced this before, we've been to this place before. And it is because, again, we don't have visionaries, or like we don't execute on our visions, or people are too focused on division, or like, politics, war, whatnot. And I
mm.
think this generation has to be different. We have
Yeah.
to actually be focused. We have to make sure that we actually, again, as I said, leave it different from what we
Mm,
found it. It shouldn't be, our children should not be facing the same issue that we're facing today. So
mm,
we have to actually solve problems. We have to work from, the place of, okay, I want to make a difference. I want to change things. I just don't want to accept them and just like follow along and just be comfortable with whatever it is. We have to be different. We have to, as you said, say that trend. We have to say no,
yeah.
and we shouldn't be comfortable with how the way things are, because they're not good.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's final question. I know it was I said that was the final, but someone here is asking Nati again. He said, "How do people get to display their products on your page?"
So what we do is you can email us at info@skadmas.com with your a little bit description about yourself, about the products that you make. If you already have brand or business, you can send us a little bio about your business, and if you have social media, you can all like, send us all the information that you have. We will review it, and if we believe that it is a good match for our platform, then we'll reach out and do interview and all the process. We're going to take you through that.
Yeah. Absolutely. You guys can go actually to the page. They have a website here and they have a social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I will share here with you guys in the comment section. You can go, and buy if there's a way to send a message as you buy. Just tell them that this is Swahili Nation family and we're buying this. You know what I'm saying? So people, yeah, go and support. I just share the link in the comment section. Um, to support our own creators and to make this brand one of the biggest brand in the world is
Thank
so
you.
it's up to us to do that. Malta, I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. And as I said, we have this tendency that if you come here for the first time, you become part of this family. So first, I'll tell you what is going to come. I'm going to invite you in SNOA International Group. This is the
Okay.
group of different creators, different founders, different CEOs from all over the world that I've had a privilege to have a conversation with them. I'll invite you there to connect with the rest of the people. And also from now onward, you are Swahili Nation family. All right, you're part
Thank
of this.
you. Thank you for having me and
You're
accepting me
part
as
of us.
part of your family. I love to be part of
Oh,
this family. Such great minded people and family. I love what you stand for. I
hmm.
love what you advocate for. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ragman. Thank you, everybody.
Already the team there is welcoming you. They're happy to have you. It's
I'm happy
privilege.
to be part of you as well, your
Yeah.
family. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and anytime, as I told you, if you have something that you'd like for us to partner, to collaborate, to talk, to discuss, to have this conversation, you know how to find us, and we'll be gladly, we'll be glad to do that with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Likewise, if you have anything that you guys need support with or to collaborate with, um, we're here as well. Anything that we are able to support with, any resources, anything, we're here. Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate. Just bring a lot of investors for agriculture in
Okay,
home, and
we will. At least we will
yeah.
advocate for investing in agriculture.
I appreciate. That's beautiful. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Appreciate.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right. Bye bye. Yeah, guys. What a beautiful conversation today. Very beautiful conversation. And you guys have seen, the products. Have seen everything. It's incredible, man. And I feel so proud to have people like Malta in from the continent. it's it it's beautiful. There's a lot of people who are not yet discovered, but they're beautiful. They're doing crazy work. The website you see is the combination of different creators together, doing something good for the continent and for their vision, for their families as well. you know Present and future is in Africa. So whatever you do for your family or for other people as well, you're doing for the continent, because everything begins with your family, right? So beautiful conversation. I love this. If you enjoyed as well, you like to share with others, you can copy the link and share with somebody. Remember to like this stream as well. It helps us to reach out to as many people as we can. And it's good to be back. I don't know when I'm gonna have another conversation, but I'll be very absent. For that, just know I'll be very absent for this year, because this year we're not just gonna do as we always do. Um, so me personal, I'll be very absent. The team, will be, I hope they'll be coming. I know Professor Ezra will resume his show, very soon. Will be coming here. And for the rest, I don't have information. So, but we'll be very, absent as much as we can. Um, we are doing investment in agriculture. The first round is already going. The second round, we are going to close the window on 15th of March. We already have a contract that we as an organization, we share with our investors, with different investors. So if you're interested in investing, the list is 1,000. You can actually, you can invest. And we have people who have already, sent their money for the investment, and we're waiting for you guys, for anyone who wants to invest at the final stages. Yeah, do. It's very important, for Africa and for our people as well. Invest in the continent, and if you've been a part of this family, invest with us. Invest. You've been part of this family. Invest. It's the time to put on action. It is the time. This year, as I say, that it's gonna be less talking and more doing. So um, if you kind of person that you talk a lot, this year is not, it's not gonna happen here, right? But if you're a doer and you like getting things done, then I think we're gonna talk a lot. So we have a conversation with investors who are willing to invest with us, and we're gonna keep in touch with them throughout the year. Yeah. So if you don't see us here on YouTube channel or social media, don't think like we quit and we leave. No, it's strategic plan. To to act more and to do a lot of work behind the scenes, in the ground. Yeah. So I appreciate everybody who joined here today. I love you guys, and I appreciate for all the support, for those who are liking, sharing, and I want to invite you guys to sign up for membership as well. You can sign up membership. There's a link in the comment section for Patreon. You can go there and become my Patreon. That's how you support me actually, and support us as well. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and it's gonna be incredible. Anyways, I appreciate YouTube and TikTok. I was live on TikTok as well. Appreciate for all of you guys being here. Okay, I'll see you guys when you see me next time. Gotta thank you for the conversation, and I thank you for Marlta for what she's doing with her platform and what she's doing to other creators, and for her family and the continent as well. Thank you for our people. We thank you for the brilliance that and intelligence that you have given us. So many bright people, bright Africans. I'm just so proud to be an African and to have all these brothers and sisters, bright people. So help us as we keep moving forward, keep developing ourselves and planning. We'll always think about the rest of our people, those who do not have a privilege to see what we see, to hear what we hear, to use even the internet that we use. So help us to be the doer of what we speak, what we preach, so that we may reach out to those people as well, to our brothers and sisters and our neighbors. I thank you. I give you praise. In your precious name I pray. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Let me start saying bye to TikTok. TikTok, guys, appreciate. If you want to see our guests, go on YouTube and you'll see the live stream. And if you want to invest with us, info at sn1africa.com. Info at sn1africa.com. Bye-bye, TikTok. I'm going to end there. And then I'm going to come to end with you guys. All right. And family here, appreciate. I'll see you guys. Yeah, see you guys later. Love y'all. Invest in agriculture. Invest right now. Email is right here. Info at sn1africa.com. Hit us up there if you are interested. I said minimum is 1,000. We have like two different projects of investment. I didn't say that. I need to say that two different. The first one is a vanilla project that you can start with a minimum even of 1,000. The second one, we're still, for that, if you're interested in investing a really big money, not like 1,000. You have like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. You can hit me up there. 70,000, 100,000 US dollar. I'm talking about USD. If you're interested in investing in something like that, we already have a plan and we have thing. You just hit me up at info@sn1africa.com. This is very fresh, and there's so many details into that. If you hit me up there, we can have a conversation. We can talk all the details and everything. We're not gonna lay down here, you know don't tell your enemies your plan, right? So we're not gonna say here everything, but if you're interested, hit me up there at info@sn1africa.com, and I'll give you detail. We'll have a session, me and you, a conversation, face to face to talk, or ear to ear talk, and to just know, right? So yeah, if you're a small investor, you have like 1,000 USD, we have that project, which is amazing. It's incredible. The numbers are really good. That's the one that I am doing, and some other beautiful people here. Reggie, he is doing too. Marit, you guys, you see Marit, you see Reggie in the comment section there. They invested in that project. We have Chrissy is doing that as well. We have Reggie and his family, they're doing that as well. And who else? Those are names I remember. So we already did from the beginning of this year. The second phase of that investment, vanilla, we are closing in one day, in 15th of March. So hit me up there at info@sn1africa.com. Okay, I didn't ask that sister because there's one sister that is investing in second phase, and I didn't ask her if I can mention her name, but she has been here for a long time. She has been supporting us for a long time. She has been like, let me just say, because the name that she's using here on social media, is Nana Dream. You guys have seen Nana Dream for a long time. She is also investing in the second phase. Shout out to Nana Dream. Nana Dream, I love you and I appreciate you. She's investing in the second phase. Nana Dream really surprised me. I know she's always been very supportive from the very beginning, and even before I knew Nana Dream how she looks like, because she's always been just supporting there and texting and all this stuff, but I didn't really know how she looks like. But eventually I know how she looks like now, and she really surprised me. I don't know. I did not expect. I did not expect. And I guess investment come from those people that you don't expect. Those people that you expect most of the time. Expectation kills. Disappoints, right? Sometimes. So shout out to Nana Dream. She really surprised me. But she's investing, with all the energy. First of all, like she sent the first phase. I mean, she sent the first money first of all, and she told me that I'm actually thinking about adding. So she sent another one as well, for the investment, and it's beautiful. It feels good when you have initiative, you share with people, and people respond. It feels amazing, right? So I want to appreciate for those who are doing that as well. Yeah. And also another person in the second phase, before this live stream, we're just having a conversation about that investment, and I think tomorrow she's gonna be sending the money actually here from Tanzania, the local person here. She didn't have the enough money for the investment, but why she said, Mika, I really want to support, I really want to do this because I believe in the vision, this and that, so I'm gonna find this money and I'm gonna make it happen. So what she did, she went to talk to another friend, and they put together the investment money, and they're doing together. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm just so happy. When you see that, you're really happy that, man, people actually can do it. So even for you, if you see like, okay, 1,000 is too much, you can be 3 people, 4 people, put yourself together, and you invest, and at the end of the day, you will see the result at the end of the day. All right, every investment has a risk, as an investor, but you can still invest. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Me personally, I did as well, because I wanted to be personal, not just to come here and to tell people, oh, invest, 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 and then I'm not doing it. So I did in the first phase, and our team knows, not the least somewhere there, right? And as well, I didn't have that money for the investment, so I borrowed as well, and I did that, because I know that after 1 year things will be completely different. So for you as well, I encourage you guys, you can do that, and we are following very closely as Swahili Nation, One Africa, SNOA. We are following very closely every step of the way because we want to make sure that those investors, you guys, are not disappointed at the end of the day. All right, so we're trying everything we can. And the first phase, I've been sharing the videos. I shared the first one, and the other week I was in Zanzibar. I shared another video of our farm, so they see how the farm is going, and they see how it's going. Yeah, they see. So if you do that as well, we have that transparent as much as we can. Yeah. All right. Hey, I've been away for a time. What investment? Oh, wow. This is Netsy. Netsy. Well, we're doing investment. I think there's a video here I shared on YouTube. If you go to the live stream I did, you'll see the video of time to invest, and I'll share with you some details on WhatsApp. I hope you're still in WhatsApp. I'll share with you some details. We're investing in agriculture, and yeah, that's what I'll share with you some details in. I know you're in WhatsApp. Let me see here. Sister Netsi, she's here. Oh yeah, and I'll share with you some details on WhatsApp. I have your WhatsApp, so yeah, it's growing so fast. This Vanny, yes, yeah, it's growing really fast. Where is that video? Yeah, maybe let me share with you guys a video of our farm. Maybe it will encourage you as well. Be like, I want to do this. I want to do this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful investment. We have only one day left, so for those who are interested, you guys gotta do it like right now. You guys, you should be like, email me right now. Okay. I love deadlines, man. Deadlines, help us to be very uh yeah, I love it because time is life. You waste time, you waste life. That's by me, Mika. Mika said that. Time is life. You waste time, you waste life. Okay, let me show you. So this is our farm, how it looks like right now. Um, so these are a couple of the vanilla plants that we have. Look at how it grows. It grows so fast. We have it there. Have it there. This is our farm right now. Have it there. So we're expecting to get like how many kg is like 200 kg. 200, is it 200 kg? Yeah, I think it's 200 kg in this farm. Appreciate for the love, those who unanipenda. Now this is our farm. This is our farm. So those people who came together, those 7 people who invested in this is their land. Like everyone own a certain amount of square meters in this farm. That's the investment. You actually own a land in Africa, but through us, of course, through SNOA. You have a portion of the square meter that you own, and this is your part. You understand that? Yeah. Yeah, so this is our farm. You see how big it is. This and the size of this farm is let me see here. The size of this farm is, let me tell you guys. You saw that? That's our farm. So these are not just story of Ali Nacha, but this is the reality. This is skeptical, he be skeptical until Jesus comes back, all right? Yeah, 200 kgs. We're going to get 200 kgs in this farm, and this farm is like 400 square meters. 7 people came together. All of us, we put our money together, and we got 200 square meters. We invested like a couple million, 18 million, and at the end of the day, we're gonna get 200 kgs. 200 kgs, and 1 kg is more than 1 million. You can check 1 kg of vanilla, how much is it? So anyways, but these are details that we'll talk with those investors. So if you're interested, come. When is the second stage? Solomon is right now. The deadline is one day, like March 15th. That's the end of the second phase. That's the end of the second phase. The end of the second phase is like in one day. Today is, and I started to share that, like, I think this is the second month. I've started to share that a while ago. So for those who are joining today for the first time, you should know that. It's 400 square meter. 400 square meter, Marie, not 40 square meters. 400 square meter. Yeah. So yeah, we are closing on 15th of March. So if you are interested and you want to do, you see the email there, just hit me up there and I'll give you some details. You saw our farm. This is our farm right now. This is how it looks like, and that's our logo and everything right there. And everything is there. Great farm. It's great farm. We're still moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward. So at the end of the day, man, I don't want anyone to regret. That's why we're showing this. For me, I personally don't like showing this stuff online like this, but I show this because so people who invested in this one, most of them are leaders, right? But now we are including everybody because we as leaders wanted to do it first. Okay, wanted to do it first before asking somebody else to do. So we spoke in our private meetings. We're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. We're doing it because we want to support the organization. We're doing it because we want to support our families. So let's go ahead and do it. We did it. And now we want to include everybody else. That okay, guys, go ahead and do it. It's very important for you guys to do it. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. We're doing it. Go ahead and do it. So, anyways, that's pretty much. All right. So if you're interested, you have the email there. Okay, guys, I love you. I gotta go right now. Bye bye.